Karl Burnside here from Thumbs Up Charter Services. Beautiful, sunshiny Labor Day. I'm at home today trying to get a few things done. And, you know, we had an issue with one of our fine Buicks that we drive over the week. And, you know, they are a great car. And this one particularly has a 3800. And if anybody's familiar with 3800s, you know the 3800 is going to far outlast the rest of the automobile. And we kind of ran into one of those situations this week, and we were driving along, and all of a sudden the fan level in the car went from low to high, and it stayed there. And I'm like, well, I didn't bump the controls. And I'm looking down and looking at it and couldn't find anything wrong with it. So finally, when we pulled over, I turned the car off, and to my amazement, the blower fan in the car kept running. So after scrounging around the engine compartment, I finally found the fuse. It's a, in case you run into this, I didn't find it on the web, it's a 30 amp fuse marked main 4, whatever that is. But it appears to only control the climate control and the fan, which kind of makes sense. But anyways, it's kind of a pain in the butt to open the hood of the car and go in and plug your fuse in before you take off. And when you get where you're going, open the hood and take the fuse out. And people kind of look at you funny too, like, what are you doing? So I plan on fixing it. It looks like it's a climate control head from everything I've done research on. But you know what? Life needs a fan, and so do I. You know, you got to have that heat and air conditioning, and especially this time of year. It's a beautiful day today. But if we had weather like we did last week, I'd rather have some fan than no fan to run that air conditioning. So, let me show you what I did. It's just a handyman tip of the week, and kind of making that wife happy until you can get the parts to fix the car. Just a wonderful view of one of the finest engines General Motors probably ever built. We've only got about 290,000 on this 3800, and she's just broken in, so you know, it's like when these little things, like I said, go wrong, you just got to get them repaired. And like I said, in this case, it was interesting because the blower fan just kept running when the key was out of the ignition. And my research indicates that the relay is actually in the climate control head. And looks like we're going to have to pull the dash apart eventually here when we get a little less busy in the next few weeks. But we got to have this thing running, right? So let me show you what I did. If you go to the Underhood Electrical Center, there's actually a fuse right here. This is an 07 Lacrosse. And it's a 30 amp fuse right here. And if you pull that fuse, the fan quit running. So what I simply did was take a length of quality marine 14 gauge wire. Or actually it's 12 gauge, excuse me, because it's 30 amp circuit. And I found which terminal, which in this case was the top terminal of the two in the fuse bay for the fuse location, was hot at all times. Brought over here, put another 30 amp fuse in this little fuse holder, and basically just ran the two wires right here in place of the fuse. Okay, so this is hot all the time, and this circuit, the black one, actually powers the rest of the circuit in the car to run the fan and the climate control. And I just kind of strung it along here with a little zip tie, carefully around the hood hinge, all the way down here, tucked it in, came around the door. So I don't want you to worry about the wire coming around the A-pillar, because it is only temporary, and if you slam the door hard enough, that wire conforms to the A-pillar right now. Not a problem. Look at that. It is custom fit. So what you do next is absolutely critical. As you can see, I got the wire tucked up in here between the dash and the A-pillar just to kind of hold it in place and let it dangle down here. But if you got yourself a cloth interior car, meaning like a base car, then I would suggest, just who really cares where the wire goes, you could just lay it on the floor like that when you're not using it. But if you got a fancier model like this, where you've got a leather interior, that requires more finesse, shall we say, to make it more of a luxury ride. So what I suggest is, if you got enough length, which we do, see if I can set you in here. I think I can. If it'll cooperate, anytime today would be nice, thank you. I'd simply take this apparatus and wrap it right around here, right? and just give it a tie, and that way it can go back and forth, right? But then you're right there at the driver's seat where you can connect this if you need a fan. I think that this screams luxury. As you fellas know out there that are married, it's key to keep your spouse happy. No doubt my wife Karen is going to be thrilled that this is temporarily fixed till we can get the right part.
What the... Have you lost your mind?
Only partially, honey. Remember, Mom had me tested. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the little spoof we had with the Buick here today. No doubt it'll be nice to get the parts in when we get them to get her fixed. In a few weeks, we'll be back in the barn over here working on the Ambrose. Have a video for you on that. We're going to be welding that transom cap. We're going to be tearing out floors. We're going to be DAing the skin of the boat to get it prepped for paint and many, many other things. So it's going to be a hodgepodge video, kind of like what I was showing you. A bunch of loose ends we got to tie up to go forward. And we need to get them done so we can move forward and get this boat well on its way to be done. It's going to be a whole winter project, but the good weather stuff we got to get done now, because right now it's been beautiful for a couple of days here. Cooler temperatures. Mentioning cooler temperatures, I was out on the bay yesterday. Water temperature 76 out by the Charities. It has come down significantly from the 85 we measured just about a few days ago, a week ago or so. So there's cooler temperatures at night, cooler temperatures during the day have helped. We did hear some rumors of gentlemen or fishermen down in the Quanticacy area at the base of the bay getting limits in 14-foot of water. I'm not sure if that's true or not. They were rumors. It still appears to be quite slow to us out there in outer Saginaw Bay, and I would suspect that's where we would see any improvement first before we saw it at the bottom of the bay. But hey, is what it is. Been a strange year. Maybe it happened. Maybe one of you guys knows. Let me know if you know something. But in checking fish freezers from port to port, or gut freezers at the cleaning stations, there was 0 fillets in anything the past couple of days. So rumor, fact, there's nothing. Nobody's cleaning fish. Don't know. Take it for what it is. But Captain Karl Burnside here, Thumbs Up Charter Services. We're in Seaboing and Bayport, Michigan. Visit us at Google at Thumbs Up Charter Services, or on Facebook at Thumbs Up Charter Services. Visit us on the web at thumbsupcharter.com. Visit us here at YouTube and subscribe to us. We'd love to have you along for the ride. And until we talk to you again, folks, have a safe and wonderful Labor Day weekend.